Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and the next installment of our HomeLab series. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up pfSense Firewall. Without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into it. So pfSense is pretty lightweight, it doesn't take much to run it. We're going to be setting it up with BSD 64-bit. For our hardware, we're going to do 5 gigs of RAM and 1 CPU. For hard drive space, we're going to do 30 gigs. Like I said, pfSense is pretty lightweight, so we won't need much to run this machine. pfSense needs 2 network adapters to run. Our first network adapter is going to be NAT. That's what's letting us get the internet connection. Next, we're setting it to our internal network that's allowing our machines to talk to each other. Next is our boot order, and this part's really important. We're going to set our hard drive to the top and then our optical right below it. The reason why this is important is if you do not do it in this particular order, what's going to happen is you're going to end up going into a boot loop. And what that is, even after you've configured everything and then you do that initial reboot to have everything take effect, it's going to boot back up into that initial setup screen as if you never set anything up to begin with. So make sure you have your boot order in this particular order. Next, we're going to put our pfSense ISO onto the machine. Next, let's go ahead and start the machine. It's going to go through that initial startup process. Once that happens, we'll go ahead and start configuring everything. And the setup is pretty easy. We're going to go ahead and select accept. Then we're going to select install pfSense. Now we're going to go ahead and select our WAN interface, and our WAN interface is that NAT adapter that we did during the setup. Next, we're going to go ahead and select continue, leaving everything as the default settings. Next, we're going to go ahead and select our LAN interface. And this is where we're going to need to change some things. We're going to go down and select IP address. Next, we're going to go ahead and give it a static IP address, and our IP address is going to be in that pool of IP addresses that our Active Directory hands out, because during our setup of our Active Directory, we also set it up to where it's also acting as our DHCP. Where it says DHCP enabled, we're going to go ahead and click enter, turning that from true to false. And what's that doing is it's telling our pfSense not to act as the DHCP because our Active Directory is doing that for us. And we're going to go ahead and make sure our network interfaces is correct, which it is. So we're going to go ahead and select continue. Next, we want to select install CE, and all that is, that's just the community edition of pfSense. It's the free version, not the paid. And on here, we're going to go ahead and select OK, and OK once again. And next on this screen, we want to select the current stable version of pfSense. And now it's going to go ahead and do the installation process, so we'll pick everything up once that's completed. And our installation process is done. We're going to go ahead and select reboot and keep going with setting everything up. Next, we're going to go ahead and set up our interfaces, and we want to go ahead and select 2 for our LAN interface. It's going to ask if we want a LAN interface via DHCP. We're going to select no because we want to give it that static IP address that we first gave it. Then we're going to select a subnet mask of 24. We don't need a upstream gateway address, so we're going to go ahead and just press enter. We're not worried about IVP6, so we're just going to select no, and then we're going to press enter. And for our web configurator protocol, we want to go ahead and select yes to HTTP. And now we have a URL for our pfSense. That way we can go ahead and make any edits in the web configuration page. So I'm here on the Kali Purple machine. Let's go ahead and ping our pfSense machine to see if everything's working properly. And it is. So we're going to go ahead and finish up with the configuration for pfSense. So we're here on our web interface. By default, our username is going to be admin and our password is going to be pfSense. For this first part, we're just going to leave everything default. If you want to change the host name, go right ahead. And when we get to the bottom, we're going to uncheck override DNS, and then we're going to give our pfSense machine the DNS address of our Active Directory machine. Because not only is our Active Directory machine handling our DHCP, but it's also handling our DNS as well. It's going to ask us what time zone we're in. I'm just going to go ahead and just leave it as is and click next. Next, we're going to leave everything default here and we're going to scroll on down to the very bottom. Next, we're going to uncheck requests for comments, and then we're also going to uncheck block bogon networks. On this page right here, just make sure it has that static IP address that you initially set it up with. Next, it's asking if we want to go ahead and change the password. Normally in a production setting you would, but this is just for educational purposes, so we're just going to keep the default settings. Now we're going to go ahead and reload pfSense with those changes that we made. And now our pfSense is configured and good to go. And that's it. We now have a pfSense firewall. And that's the one thing I like about pfSense. It works straight out of the box, pending if you need to do any extra changes here and there. I have it for my own personal home network, and I love it. Next time we come back to pfSense, we're going to go ahead and mess around with the firewall rules, but I just want to show you guys how to set everything up first with your pfSense. Like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.